All right. It is Friday, and we are fired up.
We are super fired up.
Yes.
And we're missing Wayne today.
I was going to say, the more astute viewers will notice that you are not Wayne.
I am not Wayne.
But you will be playing
Wayne.
the role of Wayne today.
I am. We missed him.
Substitute Wayne. But
Hello.
shout out to Wayne. He's up in
Hi,
Canada.
Wayne. I wore black for the occasion.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There we go.
See?
Yes. Boots and blazers.
That's right.
Speaking of boots and blazers, we got Tyler here. He strikes me as a boots and blazer guy.
Every once in a while, man.
Right on.
It depends on the day.
I just know that you threw a hellacious party.
Oh, man, yeah, it was a great time.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago, Black Tie Country concert.
I
man.
Yeah.
heard about that.
That was a great time. We had a really good turnout, about 450 in attendance, and our owner, Dustin Black, came out and performed. George Burge, who just recently celebrated a #1 on country music radio, came out as well and performed. It was a great time.
Awesome. And
Yes.
this was for a great cause, right?
Yep, Assist the Officer Foundation. So
That's awesome.
Still got a couple more numbers to come in, but we should be donating a substantial amount to the Assist the Officer
That's
Foundation.
awesome.
So.
That's amazing. Thank you
And
for
y'all,
doing that.
y'all did a tour with that, right?
Yeah, so all of our offices are, so Nashville's coming up next. We just did Columbus and Memphis prior to that one. So Nashville's up next, then our Delaware office, and then Huntsville, Alabama after that. The Nashville one's going to be really good. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Rascal Flatts, but
Oh, yeah.
Gary,
A little bit,
Gary
yeah.
LeBox from Rascal Flatts, the lead singer, we moved him back in 2017 and up in Nashville, and he had such a great experience. He ended up buying into the company, so he's now a part
wow.
owner for our Nashville and all of our Ohio offices, wherever that's where he's from originally. So
Okay,
he's
I was wondering how
Ohio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ohio seemed to be the outlier there,
Yeah.
where it's like, huh?
yeah.
So take the show live on the road and go to Nashville?
Oh, there you go.
I
Yes.
like
It's
it.
June 5th in Nashville at the
Hey.
Cohen. It's going to be a good time. He's going to be performing. Dustin Black, or goes by Dusty. He's going to be performing as well, and then some of the talent that we had open up at the show here in Dallas will be performing as well too.
Right on.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, that was a killer party. Yes.
So I think we just jumped right in. Who's our guest today?
Oh yes. So I said it is. I said boots and blazer. I kind of made the segue of boots and blazer. You know, it's kind of a country thing. So Tyler Coleman with Black Tie Moving.
Yes, sir.
And
Welcome, welcome.
Thank
yes.
you. Thank you.
Here
Happy to
are.
be here.
Yes. And so we are a little bit different format, but we will also kind of like get it back into the Fired Up Friday format.
Hey, we
of-
are fired up.
Let's
Yes,
go.
We
It's
are
Friday.
absolutely. And now I feel like I need to invest in some hats.
Well, I'm going to take my hat off.
Okay. Oh
so
yeah,
you
yeah.
can see me.
And
yeah.
so,
We'll Wayne's here in spirit. There we go.
so according to the Oracle today,
Yes.
this is actually very apropos with Black Tie here in that expansion story. I mean, holy mackerel. Okay, so today is success. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. And that is from Albert Schweitzer.
That's good.
And then it says, define what success personally means to you.
Ooh, we just started off pretty deep. We
Yeah.
jumped right
Very
in.
deep.
Yeah, we just
Ooh.
took it into deep waters right out of the gate. And so while you guys contemplate that, I'm
Okay.
going to look into my gift bag.
Yes.
Today was a gift. I got a swag bag.
You did, because it's Mental Health Awareness Month. We got to take care of our whole selves. So,
So what do we got here? So we have this looks incredibly
Oh, that looks like some type of green tea shot or something
yes,
like that.
yes.
yes.
Trying to keep you sharp and clear and focused and all the things.
Love that.
I don't think energy's a problem. So, yeah.
And here we go.
Focus.
This stuff is the bomb. And this is the one with habanero in it, I think.
Maybe.
Yes. And brain and immunity. Oh, blueberry lemon.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting mix.
So my youngest daughter took the mushroom shot. She helped herself to one of those on the way to school this morning. She had a 7:30 stats final. So we'll see how she does.
All right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
So mental health awareness.
Yeah, Mental Health Awareness Month. So, and I think in the industry we're all in, we could probably do some work on our mental health.
So
for sure.
speaking of that, so I actually even showed this to Cruz yesterday. One gal on Facebook, I was like, man, kudos to this gal for posting the truth, where she posted that she did $1 million or whatever last year, and she said, okay, it's already May and I haven't done any transactions this year.
Rough.
And she was talking about the roller coaster and like just stick with it, blah blah blah. You know, this too shall pass and all of that. And I was like, wow, you know, because so many people do define their success by what other people see and think.
Absolutely.
It's like, I don't know about you guys, but I've had a ton. I couldn't even count how many times somebody said like, man, y'all are killing it. I'm like, I don't know, it just kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All the time. All the time. Because nobody wants to look at the bad stuff on social media.
Right.
I mean, I want to see how happy, even if out of the comparison thing, it's not even that so much as I don't want to scroll by and look at all of someone's woes. I want to see
Yeah.
that things are going great.
It's the
Because
highlight
it kind of
reel.
lifts me up.
So like, while I take care of my mental health.
Yes.
So what's the first thing that comes in for you?
Man.
Success.
Success to me is just with my family. Like when everything's going well with my family, then I feel successful, and that makes me happy. Like when they're healthy and they're in a good place and we're all getting along, everyone's passing school and all the things are going the way they're supposed to, that's what makes me super happy. And that makes me feel successful, like I've done my job.
Right on.
Yeah.
And so what about you, Tyler?
I think it's success for me is just like a happy medium, even work-life balance there. Of course, I want to see my family do well. I want a happy, healthy family. But of course, I want to be able to provide for my family as well too. So from a financial aspect, but also at the same time, be there when needed, and to be there for my kids, be there for my wife. And again, just kind of falls back on that, even work-life balance.
Sure.
And just be involved as much as possible. Because especially going right now into our busy season, it seems like my phone never stops ringing.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of tough, but I need to start being a lot more intentional whenever I get home in the evening time of just turning that phone off. But my
has
phone
an off
never
button? Is there an off
right. I know
What?
it can
There's
get kind
not.
of crazy, especially right now. But yeah, that's what it means for me. So
Awesome.
Right on.
How about you?
It's funny. So Cruz and I yesterday, we were at, shout out to Real Producers. This is by
Always.
way of, this is all also like a Real Producer spotlight that we're doing here.
Absolutely.
Tyler's super involved. So I met both y'all through that.
For sure.
So we were at the Fort Worth event yesterday.
Yeah.
And I had to park in the hinterlands because it was at the distillery over there,
Okay.
the Silver Star.
Okay.
Gigantic. The old ranch style beans factory.
Oh my
really?
goodness.
Yeah. So like super legit venue, and obviously I've been sober for 19
I
and a half
haven't
years, so
seen that.
so
Yeah.
I didn't partake in any of
Of
the
course.
Silver Star spirits, but
So you remember everything.
yes. And I probably have a window of probably 10 years left before I start to forget just
For a
naturally.
different reason.
But so talking about success and sort of like the affectations and the trappings or whatever. So Cruz is giving me a ride back to my car, and I get in his car and I'm like, dude, your car's more jacked up than mine. And it's like the crack on your window is bigger than the crack on the window of my car. And so it's just so funny to think about. I don't do I have none of the external signs of success. And I also too, like the roller coaster, I always feel like we're hemorrhaging money. I did this onboarding call yesterday with the CPA where I'm like, oh my God, like you
Oh,
guys
that's the worst.
You guys
Like,
are
you just
killing
shake
me.
the whole time.
Yeah. And it was like there were 3 of them and they're just like coming at me on Zoom. And then they
But
sent
they're
me,
here to help.
yes, exactly. I'm like, tell me where the upside is in
Yeah.
this. And so I suppose having what is clearly a princess problem of like onboarding with the CPA company
Yes,
or whatever
yes.
that they're going to do payroll and all that stuff. But that is actually a hallmark of success where it's like, okay, you've gotten to the point where
Yeah.
you need to do that.
Yep.
But the subsequent panic that comes with that and the freak out of like, oh my God, it's like, we don't make any, it's like, it's all gone now.
It's all gone. Yeah.
And so I have to rein in my own thought process, and I define success now as enjoying the process
That's good.
Yep.
and bringing along my Jedi apprentices.
Yeah.
To where 3 years ago I was just a solo act, just like everything was just a shotgun blast
Yeah.
that I was just trying to get. Really, all I was trying to do was avoid going back to working at a cubicle.
Amen.
Yeah.
I do not want a real job. Never again. Never again.
No, and so part of the operating thesis is, well, as long as I don't have to get a real job, we're doing
real.
great.
Yeah.
And then there are certain things along the way, and it's like there when I hear about like the expansion, like all these different things, and then it's like, okay, not only did y'all handle that, but now you're doing a tour, and now you're doing all this other stuff. I'm like,
love it.
bro. And I just came from a killer breakfast meeting that was like one of those where I walked out there and go, wow, did that just happen? And so it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to say anything more about that until I figure out, did that really just
Right?
happen? But one of the things that, for me is, and I'm curious for you guys, as far as the difference between feeling successful and looking successful.
Ooh, that's a good one. Feeling successful and looking successful.
Because you and I both, or all 3 of us would know how to look
yes.
like you're doing, especially in today's world.
Yes.
There's just so much. I got caught in the rabbit hole the other day of YouTube because you know the algorithm.
yeah.
But it was like it was this thing about rappers and like how there is this like subset or almost like a business model where you fake all this stuff.
Yes.
In order, it's like fake it till you make it 10x.
Yes.
You know, or just
Yes.
to the nth degree.
Like you can rent the plane for 30 minutes so that you can shoot
Yes.
the video really fast to put it on Instagram.
yes,
like,
exactly.
I don't think that's real success. What was your question? Say your question again.
The difference between feeling successful and
Okay.
looking successful.
I don't think that that's real success, and I think that when you're trying to look successful in that way, it's so inauthentic, and when people figure it out, they don't appreciate that. I want to be, if I'm following someone on Facebook and you know someone like you who your career is taking off, I want to see the real stuff. And so when you talk about, you know, it was just you 3 years ago and now you've got this team and this amazing studio, that to me is successful. That's what I want to follow. I want to see that it's really possible and that you're doing the best you can with what you have until you get there. And that's authentic. The renting the plane for 15 minutes to be on Instagram, that's not real. That's kind of buying your way in. And I'm not saying that there's not effort put into that, but it's not the same, and there's a lack of authenticity. And I think especially for the younger generation today, when they see that, it gives them this idea that they're supposed to be somewhere already that they're not. That's not really even possible.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree wholeheartedly. And yeah, for me, the difference between looking and feeling successful, it's like,
I don't want
People-
to look successful. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But it could be my age. Like, I don't care if I look successful.
yeah, well,
I want
and
to feel it.
Feeling, you know, I was listening to a podcast on my way in this morning. Everybody has imposter syndrome. A lot of people have imposter
Yes,
syndrome, right? So
yes.
feeling successful, it's like, do I feel successful all the time? No, absolutely not. I feel like I'm failing and falling on my face every single day. But
Yes.
you know, busting my butt to try and to make
Yes.
it work. And you know, I'm not big on like posting a ton of like successful pictures and you know acting like I'm something I'm not on social media. But do people see me posting stuff about the work that we're doing and the
Yeah.
quality of service that we're providing to clients and things like that? Yeah, absolutely. But what they don't see is what's going on in the background and all of the hard work that it takes to get to that point.
Absolutely. There's no overnight success.
Exactly, and there,
Yeah.
and, you know, there's no such thing as perfection when there's humans involved, right?
Absolutely.
But you know, just working your tail off to get to that point to where you feel that certain type of success. It's a long road, and it's never ending. So
Yeah. And something that you said earlier, you were talking about work-life balance, and when he asked his original question about happiness and, was it happiness and success, I believe?
Yeah, or just basically, how do you define success versus it was
Versus happiness,
Yeah, the
yeah.
idea was that happiness was not the byproduct of success.
Yes.
Success was the byproduct of happiness.
I noticed when you were talking about work-life balance, you kind of cringed a little bit. And you also made a comment about enjoying work. And it's almost like in this society now, we're not supposed to enjoy our work. I love my work. Like, yes, I want work-life balance. And what I've learned and what I've brought to my family is work-life balance changes from season to season. So for you and for me, and well, for you as well, we're all in this industry. So right now, work-life balance looks a little different than it will in October.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, my family gets more of me in October than they get right now.
Yeah.
And it's a little different than maybe what most family dynamics look like that have a more traditional 9-to-5 situation going on. But my family's been brought up that way, so they understand that. So
Yeah.
they know that there's days, you know, there's things I'm not going to be at that I might miss. I don't want to, but got to put food on the table.
Yep.
And I actually like my job. I really enjoy it. And that makes me a happy person, and that makes me a happy spouse, happy mom.
Yep.
And everyone benefits from that. And I feel like we're not supposed to say that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I like to work.
Yeah, and there's the irony too, where you'll hear it like, "Follow your passion."
Yes.
You know, and it's like, what does it even mean?
Yeah.
You know, and then a lot of times too, it'll be like these hyper successful guys that there was
5
this-
a.m. club.
Well, yeah, and there was a thing that I saw online where it was like all these guys that it was sound bites where they're like, "Oh, follow your passion or follow your dreams or whatever, and then you'll never work a day in your life." Blah blah blah, whatever. And half of these guys were you know magnates in the iron smelting world or whatever. It's like you're gonna tell me that like your passion was factory assembly lines,
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like what?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's like I think there's a little bit of retroactive, you know, rewriting of the story
Absolutely.
versus and I think about this all the time where it's okay, am I good at this because I like it, or do I like it because I'm good at it? You know,
Yeah.
where it wasn't like I never woke up one day and said like I want to do photos, and you know, it's like I
Right.
love doing that stuff, but it was like, and even now I prefer basically advertising my clients, and so everything I post is trying to really just rep and push everybody that we work with to the moon. And there's this other weird kind of inverse proportion that at least I've found where I have clients that are just bona fide rock stars, and they're like so kind of what you were saying about, oh, I don't want to love my job, or I don't want to tell everybody that I just, you know, where they are so humble. So for example, and I'll shout Mary Reeves, one of
Oh,
my
she's great. Some of her
superstar-
videos you've done have been so good.
Well, here's the thing. She was number 2 out of 2,000 for the first quarter.
Amazing.
And we did a killer clip that I was really actually like quite proud of the editing and the direction that I did.
Yes, good job.
But she didn't want me to post it. She's like, it's too braggy. And I'm like, dude, it's not braggy. And I said,
Not if it's true.
well, not only that, it's like kind of going back what you were saying about we're not supposed to fill in the blank. You know,
Right.
so we kind of live this almost like theatrical aspect of our lives where it's like, oh, I'm not supposed to like this, or I'm not supposed to work 7 days a week, or I'm not supposed to, or I was also raised where it's like, you're supposed to hate your job, you know? And like, for example, Tyler, I can't imagine that you woke up one day and go like, dude, the moving industry, that's where I need to be.
If you'd have told me, so I've been with Black Tie for a little over a decade now, and if you'd have told me when I was 21 years old that I'd choose the relocation industry as a profession, I would have told you were crazy. My dad was a high school football coach here in Texas growing up, so
Okay.
we moved every 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
I think I went to 7 or 8 different school districts growing up. Just because we
goodness.
moved all over the state so much.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if y'all know what school teachers make or football coaches make, especially back in the 90s, early 2000s. But
not pretty.
Not very much at all. So, of course, we couldn't afford to hire movers. So, you know who's loading up that U-Haul truck?
No.
Me and my
yes.
twin brother.
Yeah.
So,
You have a twin?
yes, I do. Yeah.
Awesome.
So it was always
Was
me and him. And
was he at Lava Cantina?
yes, sir, he was. Yeah. So many people ran up to him and were like, "Hey, what's up, Tyler?" And every time he's at any of our work functions, everybody always runs up and he just looks at them like they're crazy, and they're like, "Do you not remember me?"
Okay.
Poor guy.
I didn't mean to jump in there, but it's like, okay, because I thought I was hallucinating. And I absolutely said to Cruz, I'm like, dude, that guy looks just like Tyler. I'm like, what are the odds, bro? And well, the odds are pretty good if he's a twin. you know?
Yeah. And I think we're identical. I don't know. My dad would always say we're identical. My mom would say we're fraternal. She could always tell the difference of us. My dad still calls
'cause
me
she's your
Austin
mom.
and him Tyler.
Austin and Tyler.
yeah.
That's fantastic.
That is.
That's
Well,
good.
It's better than what my dad wanted. My dad wanted to name us Nolan and Ryan after the pitcher. My mom ex-nayed that, though, apparently,
job, Mom.
in the delivery room.
Good job, Mom.
Yeah, so it was always us loading up those trucks. We could, never afford to hire movers, which, no big deal. Not that hard to move stuff. But again, if you'd have told me back when I was 21, just before I started working for Black Tie, that I would be working in the relocation industry as a profession, I would have told you were just absolutely crazy, because that was never going to happen. And here we are, over 10 years later. So
That's
Dude.
fantastic. So since it is Mental Health Month, as someone who works in relocation, where do you see things get the most challenging for clients? That mental health breakdown.
That's a tough one, because I think moving is considered like top 3 most stressful
Yeah.
times in a person's life. It's top 1 in animals' lives, so your pets' lives. It's the top 1.
Wow.
Oh, I
most stressful
believe
time
that.
in their lives,
Yeah.
right? But so it's hard to pick out one part of the process where it's like it's more stressful, because it's like all so stressful.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing we try and do is remove as much stress as humanly possible for clients. From communication, making sure that we have all their inventory correct, just going through the whole process with them. We touch base with some clients a dozen times before we get out to their house.
Okay.
Because we just want the move to go
Yeah.
as smoothly as humanly possible. We also have a concierge service that's free of charge to our clients, so that can help them start and stop utilities.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Those little things you forget.
yeah, and this is stuff that usually takes like 6 to 7 hours scattered across weeks timing, just having to call these different
Yeah.
people. You make a 15 to 20 minute phone call to our concierge service, and that concierge service will literally switch everything over for you. And just send you emails with, hey, here's who we found the best pricing with for your internet, for your security system.
Oh my gosh.
You're in a
That's
co-op,
awesome.
so you have to use this
I
water
need that
company.
now.
Yeah, so it's just adding little things like that really just helps take some stress away. really impossible to take all of it away.
Yeah.
You know, I've moved across the country with Black Tie, and I've been fortunate enough they've covered my move every single time, so I've barely had to do any of the moving process myself because the guys come in and handle it.
Do you use Packers?
Sometimes, for the most part, I pack a lot of this stuff up, but even after the packing has been done, like I'm still stressing about so many different things. So it's like, even if you're getting the full service move, like whether it's packing, moving, unpacking, whatever it is, there's still so many variables and so many things you have to stress about. And it's just, you can't get rid of them.
That was the most stressful part for me, was that we did hire packers on our last big move, and they were fantastic. I was the problem because they're there and they're packing, and it's like, I'm not a sit still kind of person, so I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, I need something to do. Can I help you pack? Like, you're doing a great job, but can I help?
We run into a lot of that. People are just like, I've never just sat here before and watched somebody do work on my stuff before. So.
that was very hard for me. But they did a great job.
That is a weird thing to wrap your head around, especially like depending on how you were raised. So I've lived in 2 condos in the last 25 years. So it's like, yeah, my moves are like very minimal. And I'm the king of like, just leave that shit here.
Yeah. The next person will want it. Realtors love that.
Yeah.
Don't you think the buyer wants this? No, I don't.
But that whole idea and wrapping your head around having somebody else do work for you, even like the delegating or whatever. And this again is kind of a hallmark of success now so during COVID, I think it was during COVID or thereabouts, like late COVID or maybe right after, my washing machine died. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta buy another whatever. And so I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna be like Mr. Fix It, whatever. What I did, I replaced the switch, I replaced the circuit board, like every piece except for the motor, because I couldn't lift the cylinder gimmick out or whatever. And it turns out that was what it was. Oh, no. But I say all of that to say that in the interim, while I'm doing the tool time thing on the washer, I have this mountain of dirty clothes to where I was forced under duress to actually have my laundry done at the pay by the pound thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was like the clouds parted, the angels sang, and I had to get over the fact that like somebody is like doing your dirty laundry.
Yeah.
But once I did, I'm like, oh, that is such a game changer. And there's something about that where I feel like I should be doing that. And there's like, again, diminishing returns on the more things that I feel, but I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah.
And it's like the idea of a successful person is absolutely able to be like mom, chauffeur, realtor, business, coach, I'll do my own taxes or, or whatever.
I will not do my own taxes.
And I have a lot of friends that are like that.
Yeah.
And I have friends still to this day that they will go out and spend half a Saturday or however long it takes to change the oil on their car.
Oh, gosh.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
So defining success. So for my daughter that lives in New York, you can only afford so much when you're a young kid. And they had to decide if they wanted, I believe it was air conditioning or a washer dryer in their unit. So I believe they went with the air conditioning, or maybe they got a dishwasher. I can't remember. But regardless, they don't have a washer and dryer in their unit. Oof. So her thing is, as soon as I can afford it, I'm going to start having my laundry done. Because she has to go to the washateria. And she works like 60 hours a week, and she's having to haul her bag and do all the things. So that's her big, I will have made it when I can afford to have someone come do my laundry.
It's a game changer.
Yes.
I've got to wash a duvet that doesn't fit in our washer. Or I'm sorry, it fits in our washer, not our dryer. So I have to go to the washateria in town once, because we have the cover on it. The cover can be washed, but the duvet, we want to clean that at least once a month. And every time I have to go clean that, it's just like,
just humbles you a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Because I remember having to do that growing up.
Yes,
and it was a once a week type deal. And I, as a kid, I didn't care because I was running around with a cap gun playing with my brother, but as an adult, it's not ideal for sure.
That's great.
In the interest of humility, I do that same, is it humility if you talk about it? But yeah, I do the same thing. So all of my, I'm a total creature of habit. So all my socks are exactly the same. All my boxer briefs are exactly the same. All my t-shirts are exactly the same. All my towels are exactly the same. They're all cotton white towels. Yep. Same thing with my little footy socks that are white. They're all the exact same. So one load of the towels I do myself at the washateria. I put in the thing that's as big as a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And for $7. And I was raised in the world where if the house doesn't smell like a chemical spill, it's not clean.
Same. I feel that way too. I love bleach. Oh
And
my
so,
gosh.
So I get the what is it? It's like the Mexican bleach.
Oh
that's
yes.
it's like-
Fabuloso.
but it's like viscous. It's like
Yes.
it looks like car oil. It looks like engine oil.
Yeah.
And I just load that thing up with it, and so everything it comes out while they're damp. It still smells like bleach. I'm like, yes, this is clean.
Then you know it's clean.
yes,
Yep.
but I do that. But then I use my own dryer at home.
That's
There you
funny.
go.
I love it.
Yeah.
So what's the coolest move you've ever done or coolest black tie story? 'Cause I feel like there could be so many things that could happen within the moving industry.
Or craziest.
Yeah,
I could
craziest.
tell. It's hard. It's so hard because I've experienced. I always say that I've seen it all, and then me and my CEO JC, he actually just moved back to town, and we always joke, and it's like we've seen it all, ha ha ha. And then I make a random phone call to him. And I was like, man, just when we think we've
Just
seen
when,
it
yeah.
all. But I'd say the coolest thing for sure, because I could tell you some horror stories that probably not everybody wants to hear. Just all the celebrities that I got to be a part of moving.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
Whenever, because I started I was the lowest man on the totem pole at Black Tie, just a helper, worked my way up to a driver position, then operations management, then branch management. But my top 3 coolest moves, there's some that I can't talk about because we had to sign an NDA for it.
Right.
But
Those are the ones we want to know about. Come on, there's only 2 people watching.
So is that like you can't talk about what's in the house?
Yeah,
or-
just anything at facility, like you
can't say their names either,
Say their
right?
names, tell people where they live, talk about what we move, things like that.
Okay.
Which it wasn't anything crazy, but they were just like A-list. Big
Celebrities.
name celebrities. But Tony Romo was here in Dallas whenever we moved him. He had one of the coolest houses I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, and that was back
Interesting.
that was back in 2016, I think we moved him. But him and his wife, amazing people, super nice, very humble, some of the nicest people you ever met. My top 2 favorite people I've ever moved, though, would be The Undertaker, the wrestler, down in
Yes.
Austin.
Oh wow. Okay.
Him and his wife, hands down, oh my gosh, some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. He literally gave me a freezer full of food because he didn't want to take it over. And we're talking about like elk meat, bison,
gosh.
like all types of stuff. They were really, really amazing clients to deal with. And then, of course, Gary from Rascal Flats. I actually flew out. This was just before I moved to Nashville. We didn't even know we were moving him, and then we found out we were moving him, and then so I flew out there to go lead that up, just because at that time I was like one of our top crew leads and drivers, and flew out there to take care of that move for him, and him and his family, just salt of the earth people, such
Love that.
amazing people. But
That's so cool.
we do a lot of I guess celebrity moves up in Nashville. You can go check out our TikTok or our Instagram page. Like we just moved Lainey Wilson a while back, Ernest. Who writes a lot of Morgan Wallen songs.
Morgan Wallen had a new song come out today with Post Malone.
Yeah, I saw
Kind of
that.
excited about that.
I meant to download it.
I haven't
and
got to listen
pre-save
to it yet,
Oh,
so-
I've heard the teaser for it, and it's amazing.
I can't wait.
It's amazing.
I can't wait.
I'm still stuck on The Undertaker.
Oh man.
So as y'all are like so erudite and talking about all this new music, I'm just like, pro wrestling is like one of my absolute lifelong obsessions / guilty pleasures, like whatever you want to call it, because it's like I like it for a million different reasons that I could talk for the next 10 hours on. But The Undertaker, I remember when he wrestled here in Dallas whenever I was in high school, whenever
Like
he
at the
first
Sportatorium?
whenever he first started. And
Yeah.
so like, I'm just not, where did he move to?
So our Austin office moved him. That was when I was down there, man.
So he just moved in Austin.
In Austin, yeah,
like
just
round-
across town.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They moved out to a bigger. They were in a house in a neighborhood, and they in the same neighborhood moved into a larger property, like on acreage in the same neighborhood.
So,
But-
so I'm just curious now, did he have any of the actual like dead man affectations, or like, because you go into his house?
No, not really. I mean, man, if you didn't know who he was, he's just a normal guy.
There you
Okay.
You know,
go.
him and his wife both, just all around amazing people. Just so nice. Like, and I've moved some celebrities, like they act like you're
When was that?
beneath them.
Just out of curiosity.
That was, man, it had to have been 3 years ago now. It
Okay,
was,
so
it was about a
he's-
year before I moved back up to Dallas-Fort Worth. So that was back in, I'd say 21.
Okay, and the reason, because I think he was still active there, because like one of the things, just a little nugget of wrestling trivia for everybody. He was one of the few guys that never broke character
Yeah.
for decades.
Okay.
For decades, like you didn't know his name. I did, but yeah, but like he would never be publicly addressed. He would never do anything that was not in character and on brand.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fun.
he even after we got done with the job, he was kind enough to take pictures with all of us, and one of our guys. His sons are like really big wrestling fans, and I like watched wrestling. I was never a really big fan, but everybody knows who the Undertaker is,
Yes.
right? But he was like, yeah, let me send here, record me really quick, and I'll give your boys a little lesson or something like that. And he was like, this is the Undertaker. You boys better behave and be good for your dad and mom, and like
I love it.
chilling message to send to his kids.
That's awesome.
That's the winner.
But yeah, he was literally one of the nicest. Him and his wife both super amazing, super nice people. So awesome to work with. And that's a lot of the celebrities that we deal with, they're like that. But then you bump into some that aren't even as big as some of the others, and they're just like they act like you're beneath them. And,
Yeah.
you know.
That's
But
not
I mean,
cool.
you run into that in all aspects of
Oh,
life.
for sure. Doesn't matter
even
who
if
they
they're
are.
a celebrity or not.
Yeah,
You know. So,
for
but
sure.
those are like top three of my the most favorite moves that I got.
Okay,
to
so
do.
now I'm just gonna like hit you up later for like hit me with them Undertaker pics.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram. I'll tag you in it.
Love
Cool.
it.
So as we wrap up, what's going on with Black Tie Moving right now?
We just had that big concert, and
I'm sad I missed it. That looked incredible.
It was a really good time, and that was so me as well as with the help of my director of marketing. She's based out of Nashville. Shout out Rachel Blessy.
We gotta go to Nashville.
Oh yeah, I'm in the email loop with her.
Yeah, she's great. She and I pretty much coordinated that entire event, and on top of our regular jobs.
Right,
And that was my
right.
first time putting on an event, so that was like 2 months leading up to that. Everything's just super stressful, but we got it knocked out, and it went well. Surprisingly, I thought it was all going to crash and burn at some point. Just the imposter syndrome, I guess,
Yeah,
kept
for
kicking
sure.
back in. But next week we are the host sponsor for Real Producers, their North Dallas event that they
Excellent.
have going on. So we'll be out there. We'll have a nice swag table set up. If you've seen us at any events, you know our swag table is one of
Money.
the greatest. We always got a bunch of little cool swag items for everybody to take home. But outside of that, we're just getting into our busy season and
Yeah.
and getting after it. It's going to be a crazy next couple of months. We're projecting this to be one of our best years yet.
Awesome.
So we're really looking forward to it.
Where can they find you if they need to schedule a move?
So my cell phone, 512-605-7328. That's the best way to get a hold of me. That's how most of my referral partners intro me to clients, either that or via email. It's just Tyler@blacktiemoving.com.
Awesome.
And yeah, just connect me with your clients, and we'll get them taken care of.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us
Yeah,
today.
thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Rick, what do you have coming up?
Like Tyler said, it is about to be.
It's
you know,
time.
basically, don't plan on taking a breath until Halloween.
Right.
Which
right.
I love, by the way. It's like I love working 7 days a week, and you know, because it's like the truth is, what else
Feels
would I
good.
be doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are definitely the devil's workshop.
Idle
if they're
hands.
not, if they're not
Love it.
busy. So, what about you with Ignite 90?
Oh my gosh, we as we go into the busy season and it's mental health awareness, and we start the second quarter, the real estate side is picking up. So realtors, if you need to work on your strategy, I've got a quick strategy session that will keep you in check and keep your mental health in check. So just give me a call, or you can shoot me a text at 214-534-8758.
Right on.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And we will see you next week at the RP party.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a
Yes.
good time.
Thanks.
All right, thank y'all. And Peter, take us out.
Okay.